There was a small, quiet village named Havenwood, surrounded by dense woods and whispering streams. Beneath the veil of serenity lay a dreadful tale that villagers dared not discuss. The story was of the Garrison House, an ancient stone manor that loomed at the edge of the woods, untouched for decades. It was said that anyone who entered its cellar never came back. Riley, a journalist with a knack for debunking urban legends, decided to uncover the truth. He dismissed the villagers' warnings as mere superstition and arrived at Garrison House on a misty evening. The air was heavy, the silence unnerving. The house creaked as he stepped inside, its walls damp and adorned with peeling wallpaper. His flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing cobwebbed furniture and an overwhelming sense of abandonment. But Riley wasn't here for the house. He was here for the cellar. He found the cellar door in the kitchen, secured with rusted chains and a padlock that seemed ancient. Breaking it open with a crowbar, he descended the stone steps into a dark abyss. The air grew colder with each step, and the sound of his boots echoed unnaturally. At the bottom, he found himself in a massive underground chamber. The walls were lined with shelves, each holding jars filled with what looked like objects. Upon closer inspection, he realized they weren't objects at all. They were human eyes, hundreds of them, preserved in some kind of viscous fluid. Each one seemed to follow his movements, their gaze piercing even in their lifelessness. The floor was littered with belongings, watches, wallets, shoes, all worn and aged. Riley's stomach churned. These were relics of the people who had vanished. He tried to leave, but the cellar door slammed shut above him. His flashlight flickered, and the chamber began to hum softly, like a low vibration. Riley froze. The jars on the shelves started to rattle, their contents bubbling as if alive. Suddenly, a voice boomed, not a whisper, but a deafening guttural roar that came from nowhere and everywhere at once. The jars began to shatter one by one, releasing the eyes, which floated mid-air. They coalesced into a swirling mass of disembodied orbs, all staring directly at Riley. Panicking, Riley sprinted for the staircase, but the steps stretched endlessly, as if mocking his escape attempt. The walls began to shift, revealing more shelves and more jars. He was surrounded by endless rows of eyes, all staring, accusing. In his desperation, Riley dropped his flashlight. The room was plunged into darkness except for a faint, pulsating glow from the jars. The glow grew brighter, illuminating a figure at the far end of the chamber. A towering, faceless being with a body made entirely of writhing, blinking eyes. Riley's screams echoed in the chamber as the figure approached, its presence suffocating. He stumbled backward, tripping over a pile of belongings. His hand landed on a rusty knife, and without thinking, he lashed out at the entity. The knife struck nothing but air, passing through the figure as if it were an illusion. The eyes on the figure all blinked in unison, and Riley felt his vision dimming. He couldn't move, couldn't scream. His world went black. The next morning, the villagers found Riley's car abandoned near Garrison House. No one dared enter. Weeks later, a hiker stumbled upon a wallet in the woods, soaked from the rain. Inside was Riley's ID, and a single note scrawled in trembling handwriting. "Don't open the cellar. They see everything." The Garrison House remains untouched to this day, the cellar door still ajar, waiting for its next visitor.